completely smash an enemy into the ground. That is what I will be telling you, teaching you, learning you, why you need to do that on some occasions. Because the world says you need to be kind, rub over their head, it's going to be fine. No, it's you against the rest. That is my favorite law. This number 15 is my favorite. I'm going to show you why. So this video is with 3 points. 3 points you need to follow in certain situations. If you're doing that, your life will just go down. Nothing to add, no return on that. Nothing you can do about it. This is the hard deal. So the first one is why you need to completely destroy your enemies. Prevents future retaliation. In other words, what does it mean? If you have an enemy, you've won, but you left them out with a small percentage of resources, time, energy to build back up, get stronger, and then they challenge you and turn you into the ground, shove you into the ground. If you do total destruction, no one can harm you after that. That is why in movies you see a lot of serial movies, serial killers, or even high-end business. You see, they hire a hitman to make sure the target, the enemy, never lives. That way, you have no worrying about what someone can do behind your back. So it is important that you shove them into the ground. You have prepared their grave, you will lay them in there. That is what you need to do. If you do not fully neutralize this threat, you let them build back up, and then they can start growing, as I said. Then, in subtle ways, they will just poke you a little bit. Like with a sword, just little poking. Trying to get you out of your shell. Then, when you're going down, while they're building up, you are ready to lay in a grave you have prepared. They will destroy you completely. Let's take an example, actually. So, you're at work. As someone says, you have a project, you need to do it with two. You, colleague. But your colleague does one thing. You have a project. So you have a project. And a project is split between two people. It's you and them. What happens on the project? There comes a name. That name is this. So you have the project, you, them. On the project, on the end of it, there comes the name. And the name is them. What do you need to do? You confront them and you say, what is this? I put in the work too. In today's world, if you confront someone with pure confidence, that's a key part, confidence, and you confront them, I've done the work too, where is my name? People don't know what to respond. They know they've been cut, so they need to obey you. And then they do not have the chance to twist your words. Twist it so that you're removed from your work. That is why it prevents future retaliation. If you do not do it, they will get the glory, they will rise, you're being knocked down. Second reason why you need to destroy someone. I do not mean by murdering someone, destroying in a competition. It shows you have strength. A victory establishes dominance. If you're a big thing or a small thing, you've took out another big thing, you're seen like a god. That's what you want. Most people, they don't know how to fight. You've seen it countless times on TikTok, YouTube, and they go like this. Or, hey, come on, come on. All they're doing is showing their strength to make you scared. And that is what you need to do. Get that victory, show them what you're capable of, and then they will say nothing. Why? They will follow the same thing, the same faith that someone has experienced. And then there are no attacks at you anymore. But it also shows you have no weakness. Because a weakness invites someone to claim on that. And when they claim on that and they shove you into the ground, you're dead zero. But let's take an example. Let's say you're training for something. You're training for a marathon. So, marathon. Your schedule is is 4 times per week, 10 kilometers. So this, you're training for a marathon, your schedule is 4 times a week, 10 kilometers. But you have this other person who is trying to do the same. Actually, my favorite thing in cars, Jackson Storm. And he or she is doing 3 times. But what will they do? They're trying to nag you a bit down. They say, you cannot do that. You're bad. You're too old for that. That's what happened in cars. Jackson Storm was getting inside McQueen's head, saying, you're too old. It's a new generation. You cannot do it. In the end, he did it. And that's what you need to do. You need to continue. Because if you not continue, you show them you have a weakness. If you show them you have a strength, most people just walk away because there is no weakness to hit on. There's no weakness to capitalize on. So in that way, you make sure you showing your strength, what you're worth, and that they know one thing: do not mess with you. Now, the last thing is eliminate distractions and focus on growth. If you're constantly watching behind your back, what can happen? What possibly can come at me? All you're doing is running in a circle. You're just going like this your whole life. This is what you do. Running in circles. The thing you're doing is you stall your own progress. At some point, you need to ignore people. Ignore them, they just go away. That is why you need to eliminate the distractions. If you eliminate a person, there is no distraction, you can focus on your path. So, if an example for this, family. If you have a boyfriend, if you have an important decision to make sure there is no gap for a follow-up question, which means a closed question. Yes, no. That's what you're going to do. It's to say, do you have a boyfriend? Is someone in the picture? No. There is no follow-up. What are they going to ask? They maybe say, yeah, but I saw you with someone. It's my friend. Oh. They're already done. What do they have to do? But if you say, you have a boyfriend? No. But I saw you with someone. Yeah, it's a bit of a thing going. The next day they're going to ask. The next day they're going to ask. The next day they're going. And all is stressing on your mind. They will continue to get that information. And they do not mean it in a nasty way or in a wrong way. They're doing it because they love you. They want to know what's going on in your life. But if you do not want them to follow up, completely cut it out. Give short answers. That's one thing. If you give 2 sentences, when you only need half of a sentence, there is less detail to follow up with a question. So you need to close that chapter. If it is an important decision, a car. Do you know what car you want? Yes. If you say no, oh, I have a suggestion for this and this. I find my car very good. If you say yes, what is it? It is this. Oh, alright. It ends there. There is no thing to interpret on. There is no thing to follow up on. But how do you make sure no one does this like you? That's the hard part. As I said, someone confronts you is hard for people. You need to confront them. Criticize them. That you show you're here. Not here that you're all scared going on like this. You need to do it with confidence. So let's say your child has done something wrong. John, can you come here for a moment? Yeah, Dad? You've not done your homework. What is this about? You show that you're here. If you come with John, can you come? Yeah, Dad. You've not done your homework. Yes, I did it. In fact, I've already submitted it to my teacher. Then you leave doubt. You need to make sure there is no doubt in that. In that way, you show a weakness, and they can just work around that, hit you in your weakness, and you're done. You're completely done. So, confront them with confidence. So, go in, chest up, nice posture, head up. John, I've heard you've not done your homework. What is this about? They can only tell the truth. Because if they wait too long, they're trying to plan it. But it's also destroying their reputation. Reputation is the number one asset you can have. I cannot tell it enough. Reputation is your CV that you deliver without delivering yourself. If you have Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best football players, people are interested in him without him even coming to them. He has a reputation for being good. If you have Elon Musk, he's done making cars. He has a reputation for revolutionizing electric movement. You can name it. But if you destroy their reputation in a bad way, which commonly now is raping, sexual assault, the reputation just goes down like this. They do not want anything to do with you anymore, and you're done. That's why destroy their reputation. Even if it is a lie, if it is a colleague that says some weird things about you, do it, but worse. So, if you at school, for example, there's this girl really mocking you all the time, just said she has slept with the ugliest guy. Everyone will start talking about that. Everyone will judge her for that because so many people are talking about that and they don't work for you. That's the way you make sure you stop a bully, stop someone that tries to put you into the ground. And the last thing is, do not show all your cards. Especially at work, I see it a lot. So if you take the maximum capabilities you're of, so your max cap, maximum capabilities. People are doing this. But you need to do this. And I will show you in a minute. In a couple of seconds. So your max cap is this. This is your max cap. People are showing 100% and not leaving anything good, showing 80%, having 20% in reserve. Why? If someone is trying to get above you and saying they're doing all that they can, and you can just increase it comfortably. Do not overstress it, by the way. If you're doing that, you'll face the same fate. But if you increase it comfortably, they're looking like a fool. So in that way, do not show all your cards that you have. Do not show your maximum capabilities. Just show them a little bit. And when you need to punch, you punch with some extra prestation. There's also a counterpart for this. And I will try to do it very quick because we're already at 18 minutes. Sometimes you need to spare someone. Why? Why do you need to spare someone? It is a future ally, possibly. It can hurt you more. If you have a reputation for destroying people, no one wants to work with you. Sometimes it's better to spare someone, that you have some mercy in it. Because if your only reputation is destroying people, people don't want to work with you anymore. That's what happened in ancient Rome. With most people, they got convicted of someone, no one wanted to work for the king anymore, with the king, because they know they will face death. But it can also make you look unstable, that you need to constantly fight out people to make sure that they come, makes them think that there's playing more, that you're not strong and confident, no, that you're a little bit vulnerable. They will looking for that behind every wall you place. So then it's better to choose mercy in the long run because it's more valuable. So sometimes it's better to choose that mercy kind of thing and think about the long-term gain, because if you want to grow, you need to have something or someone to grow with you. But if someone is valuable or you're under heavy fire from other things, then spare them. If that is not the case, you're not under heavy fire, this is not someone, it's a future ally, possibly someone that get you further in life, destroy them. That is the important thing of this lesson. It is a hard lesson, but it is something that if you want to get further in life, that you want to achieve more, you need to show some skin. Because in today's world, we're showing more compassion, too much compassion sometimes. Every hit, everything we get is, oh, I'm hurt, I need help. Sometimes you need to be the man. Or the women. Show them there is no fucking around with you. And then, if there's a possible someone you can use, show them that you're capable of working together. So, that is Law 15. This is my favorite law because I like outperforming people. I like putting people into the ground. It's a law I've been really looking out for to teach you. Use this careful, analyze it beforehand, rewatch it, doing everything you can to make sure that if the times come, you make the right decision and not hang yourself on a rope. So, this was everything that I wanted to say. If you watched this far, I hope this brought you something, this learned you something to use, even subscribe and like it to help more people. And then I have one thing to say. I hope to see you in my next video.